And then there were four in this 2022 FIFA World Cup, and it's now time for the semifinal. Of course, for all of these four teams, this will be the second to last game before this tournament is all said and done. But they stand at the doorstep to getting back to the World Cup final. Our first one, Argentina against Croatia. Of course, two teams that have met up many times over the past few years. They met up in 1998 in France. They met up in 2018 in Russia. That time it was Croatia to pull the 3-0 victory over Argentina. Since then, Croatia has been on a giant uptick, which included a surprise run to the final in 2018. In the Euro, they didn't do too well, but they're back here at the 2022 World Cup, back in the semifinals. For Argentina, they have been able to turn it around. That was a disappointing result there in 2018 as they went out in the round of 16. Now, they're back at a big stage ready to make a point and give their captain, Lionel Messi, his first World Cup title and his only World Cup title, so he may go out on a bang. I'm Ahirson Hassan. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday afternoon. I apologize, my voice and my nose has been a little stuffy for today. Nonetheless, let's take a look at the starting lineup, starting off with Croatia, who will be, on paper, the visitors in today's match. Starting off in goal, Dominik Livakovic. In the defense, in the 4-3-3, Borna Sosa, Josko Gvardiol, Dejan Lovren, and Josip Juranovic. In the midfield, you're going to have Mateo Kovacic, Marcelo Brozovic, Luka Modric. And up top, Ivan Perisic, Andrej Kramaric, and Mario Pasalic. Of course, Croatia led by Zlatko Dalic, who led them to the runner-up stage in 2018. Now let's take a look at Argentina. Starting off in goal, Emiliano Martinez. In the 4-4-2 today, different from the 3-5-2 where they lined up against Netherlands. You're going to have Nicolas Tagliafico, Nicolas Otamendi, Cristiano Romero, and Nahuel Molina. In the midfield, it's Alexis McAllister, Leandro Paredes, Enzo Fernandez, and Rodrigo de Paul. And up top, Julian Alvarez and Lionel Messi. Of course, it's a big spectacle on tap here, almost sold out at Lusail Stadium, who will host the final on Sunday between the winner of this and the winner of France-Morocco tomorrow. It's Argentina and it's Croatia live here from Lusail Stadium, and we're underway here. Argentina in the Albiceleste going from left to right. Croatia in the all-black uniforms going from right to left. Believe it or not, it's the same uniform clash that we saw in 2018, I believe, at Rostov-on-Don when these two teams faced off. As I noted, Croatia with the win in that one. And it was Luka Modric there, their captain, with the insurance goal as they trounced to victory. Ended up qualifying, and Argentina was kind of on the backside there, back on the wall, almost getting eliminated if it wasn't for a win against Nigeria on the final match day. That was, as I said, an interesting one, and it was an interesting battle. It was great to see Croatia go there. That game was actually at Nizhny Novgorod in Russia. But nonetheless, a great atmosphere as Croatia is back at this stage for the first time since 4 years. Of course, this is their third time overall. 1998, they lost in the semifinals to France 2-1, and then in 2018 beat England 2-1. Of course, the small country of Croatia has a lot of power. They're trying to continue to build on the upsets as this World Cup goes along. For Argentina, again, led by Lionel Scaloni, their head coach, was a member of the World Cup squad in 2006 that bowed out to Germany on penalties. Another guy on that squad, Lionel Messi, who is now the captain over here. He was on the bench during that game. He was starting against Croatia, one of the three guys on the pitch for Argentina currently that started in that match. Acuna, who has been starting many games in this World Cup, unable to play today due to yellow card accumulation. This one pipped forward, looking for Molina, trying to get there on the right, crossed this in, and it's a little too far for Julian Alvarez, who is making the run. Just 2 minutes into this one, that's probably your best chance of the match so far. The rate I'm going, I might need some more water. Nonetheless, throw in here from Juranovic. You have to think about it too. You have to look at all these key characters. Josip Juranovic, one of those guys that had a tough test going up against Neymar, going up against Danilo on the left-hand side against Brazil. Held them to a lot and was really potent on the counterattacks. Today he's got Tagliafico he's dealing with. Meanwhile, on the opposite flank, it was Perisic and Molina going for the ball there, and it was Argentina to win the throw-in. Little couple changes, as I mentioned before. Rodrigo De Paul, although he's played right center midfielder, the more accustomed he is on the pitch is center rather than right. So playing right midfielder today will be interesting for Rodrigo De Paul. Has been tabbed Messi's bodyguard throughout this World Cup. Speaking of De Paul, here he is, clips it in. Good ball into the middle, but it's caught there by Livakovic. Shows again a good dashing run there by, I believe, Alvarez, who was trying to make the run forward. Actually, pardon me, it was Tagliafico, the left back. So still playing with the attack going forward. Meanwhile, here's Mateo Kovacic trying to play this outside, and it's a little too far for Kramaric. Seen out there by Romero. Cleared off of Kramaric and out for an Argentina throw-in. As noted, the big stars, the big games, they're kind of intertwined with each other as they've been throughout the years. No question today. Of course, you're going to see a lot of them up in the stands and especially on the field. Lionel Messi against Luka Modric. Modric playing majority of his career, at least the brunt of his career, with Real Madrid in La Liga. Messi doing it with FC Barcelona. Those two have had a lot of interesting matchups over the years during their time in Spain. That is, Modric is still playing with La Liga. Messi has moved on to PSG in France. This one clipped into the box here, caught by Martinez as the cross was put in quite dangerously for a while by Ivan Perisic. Meanwhile, here's Argentina. Enzo Fernandez in some space against Modric. And now it's controlled here by Paredes. Back in midfield. Now towards Messi again. What can he do? A man who's played back a lot this year. Played back a lot in the sense that he's played more as a midfielder rather than that forward, rather than right wing forward, which he has been accustomed to playing throughout his time in Barcelona and kind of translated to his time with Argentina. Here's De Paul. Now to Fernandez. McAllister. And now once again the ball worked around. Otamendi now to Romero at midfield. Still at midfield. So at least a diagonal was trying to be clipped there. Trying to go out for Molina and Paredes, but a little too much sauce in that one. I wouldn't say a little too much, probably a lot more sauce on that one as it sailed out towards the goal. So once again, Lionel Scaloni led this team to a Copa America title, their first major title in a while. If I'm not mistaken, 1986 was the last time they won the World Cup. I think they won Copa America, though, in 1993. Nonetheless, here come Croatia the other way. Keep on playing after a little swipe there off Brozovic. Still in the area. Tagliafico clipped, and that's going to be a free kick. 6 minutes through, and again, nasty challenge there on Tagliafico. It was Pasalic there, and Tagliafico might have flopped in the end, but still, nonetheless, it did look a little wary of a moderate foul. Now the ball will be backed up towards midfield now. As it looks like we Paredes once again take it out on the wing now for Enzo Fernandez. And he'll play back. Back to Otamendi, now back towards Emi Martinez. Of course, the goalkeeper battle will be something to watch today. Emiliano Martinez for Argentina, Dominik Livakovic for Croatia, both of whom made at least one penalty save in their shootouts that happened on Friday. Croatia beating Brazil, Argentina beating Netherlands. A lot of different saves there and different shutouts as well. 2 clean sheets apiece for both sides. So that is, of course, kind of a neck-and-neck battle in terms of how this match could be played. Now, in terms of possession, could be going either way. Argentina has been a team to possess the ball 62% on average. This one goes back towards Livakovic, sailed out high towards Sosa, and it's won back there by Paredes before it's back towards Gavardio. Here's Sosa again. Marcelo Brozovic. Kovacic. Back towards Kovacic. Still in the defensive half. Not too many shots so far. Chance earlier with the ball being swung in just a little too far for Julian Alvarez, the Manchester City player. He's kind of bursted on the scene as of late in this World Cup. 2 goals, one against Poland and another one against Australia. Back towards Gavardio. Lovren. Kovacic. Able to get past Alvarez, leaves it off, and good track back there by Modric to keep it in play. Now back out towards the right wing, and just like that, we're going to see a slight switch of the pitch. Now with Gavardio. Kramaric. Sosa. Trying to go 1-2 with Perisic. And Romero, good cut out there. Won't see it out, but decides to take it himself. Rodrigo De Paul, that is. And Molina tried sending it up pitch. Deflected out, throw-in for Argentina deep in the defensive third. 10th minute of play here. Still 0-0 between Argentina and Croatia. And just like that, it's out for a Croatia throw-in after a few knocks in the middle. There's a look at Luka Modric trying to work some magic once again. As I said earlier, scored it when these two teams played off in Russia in 2018. Overall, like I said, third matchup at the World Cup. Perisic sends it in, headed away there. Good work by Otamendi. Messi tries to cause a counter. One back there by Gavardio. Gavardio will push this back and goes all the way back towards Livakovic. As I noted, this World Cup has been interesting for sure. You know, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You know, the fact that we see some big teams going out. We see Croatia, too, a number 2 seed, making it all the way to the semifinals. Now the second consecutive World Cup where we have seen a number 2 seed make it this far. Of course, the other team in 2018 being England. Of course, England beat Colombia, who was the number 1 seed at the time before beating Sweden in their quarterfinals. Faced Croatia in the semis before losing to them. And that's how we got France versus Croatia in the final. You never know. I mean, knowing how this match goes, knowing how tomorrow's match goes between France and Morocco, we could end up seeing another Croatia-France final. It's very valid. Quite valid indeed. Perisic. Also important to note, too, with Croatia, save for their win against Argentina back in 2018, they have never beaten a CONMEBOL team at the World Cup. Here's Kovacic. Now it's out towards Sosa on the left. Croatia's starting to get most of the possession. Meanwhile, Romero will cut that out and say, well, not for now. Not for now. Nonetheless, back towards Croatia for a throw-in. Here's Perisic. Gavardio, he'll leave it off towards Lovren here at midfield. Brozovic. Sosa now. Has some space, now cuts back. Will whip this in with the right. Deflected there. It was a good deflection by Paredes, I believe. Now it's out with Perisic on the left. Ivan Perisic back towards Sosa. Once again, Croatia with nifty moves and also just straightforward passing as well. Straightforward, No over-the-top balls, just simple ground balls, maybe just some through balls here and there. With that said, one back there by Argentina. This could be dangerous as Alvarez goes forward, goes down. That's a free kick. Luka Modric there called for the foul on Alexis McAllister. Again, McAllister, one of the guys, didn't play in the match again. Actually, no, he probably did. But having a little more of a dynamic role today as a left midfielder. From what I've seen, Scaloni is still very adamant on getting the wingers up. That is the left back and right back. And the wingers tend to kind of play kind of behind the strikers, in a sense, that being Alvarez and Messi. This one, though, played through, cut out there. Good work by Otamendi. Trying to slide in. That could be a spot with the right back, but nonetheless, it's shown the other way. Alvarez, now towards Fernandez. Trying to play through. Man went down. It might have been Messi. Ref says no foul. Right at the edge of the box, too. Could have been Lionel Messi free kick range. So once again, the crowd simmers down, at least for a while here. Croatia, at least. You think about it, Croatia just trying to get their bearings right. Allowed the first goal against Japan, but able to get an equalizer. Allowed the first goal against Brazil in extra time, got an equalizer. So overall, you never want to count Croatia out, and we've seen that throughout this World Cup, even against Canada too, where John Herman, the Canada head coach, made it quite clear. That one cleared out away, up and away, that too by Otamendi and Tagliafico. Let's take a look at this foul again. Messi was trying to make the through ball run into the box, but stopped in his run. Again, might have been played a little too far out for Messi to truly get a touch on it before Livakovic could. Either way, throw in for Croatia here in the 15th minute of play. Right here from Lusail Stadium. Stadium that's hosted quite a lot of matches, but hey, the pitch looks pretty nice overall, I'll tell you that. Ball still bounces around and now settled by Brozovic. About 45 yards out. Now back towards the defensive half. Gavadio, Kovacic, Sosa. Brozovic again, and now we'll clip it out towards Lovren. Lovren with some movement, now once again out on the wing. Modric lost it. Now it's back. Back with Modric here on the right. Little clip out. Able to win it past Fernandez. Modric out towards Juranovic. Deflected cross, and it's out for Croatia corner kick. First corner kick of the day for the Croatians. And I got to tell you, corner kicks have not been easy, at least for Croatia in this World Cup, in terms of getting the chance to take one. Only 20 corner kicks for them in this tournament. That's third overall amongst the 4 teams remaining. You could probably guess who's number 4, Morocco. Nonetheless, Modric plays his corner short, right towards Kramaric. Back towards Modric. This one sent into the box. High one. Lovren tried getting ahead to it. He did, past 2 Argentines, but it goes out for a goal kick. Again, good lead by Lovren, but again, it looked like there might have been some options in the box. Gavadio and Kramaric being some of them. It looks like there's an injured Argentinian down. He will be up and ready to go. So that's a good sign for Argentina. It looked like it was Romero, the one going down. He was also contesting for the ball there alongside Lovren. Once again, I apologize for my cold. Might have been from some allergies, picked it up on Sunday night. It's pretty bad on Monday, but overall it's getting better, which is good news because, of course, I'll need it tomorrow. France versus Morocco, once again, still at 2 o'clock Eastern right here on YouTube. And then some other ones going on as well will be the third place game, which will be Saturday at 10 a.m. And then the final right here from Lusail Stadium. Kramaric, now Juranovic. That one picked off there. Good work by Messi, trying to cause another counter the other way. Kind of been a little unconventional in terms of Argentina possession. Sosa now tried crossing that in, and that will sail almost towards the Argentina bleachers. He knows it himself. Not the best kick from his left boot. Goal kick. So once again, sent forward by Emiliano Martinez. It's actually a really good story overall, too. Meanwhile, Messi, oh boy, what a move. Already juked out one man and now plays it back towards Molina. He's 35 years old, but one of the best to ever do it. Has still got it. Enzo Fernandez. Now, once again, here's McAllister. One back there by Modric. Not going to be playing with the dancing moves so far. Here's Kramaric now in the middle. Kind of bodied there by Romero and Otamendi both as they swarmed on Kramaric like a moth to a flame. So once again, a free kick. So we approach the 20th minute of play here from Lusail Stadium. Again, a lot of great stadiums have hosted the final of the World Cup. We saw Luzhniki Stadium in 2018, Maracana in 2014, of course, those two being quite historic, both in the world and also their current lands. It's interesting also to see some of the other stadiums that have hosted the final. That is, F&B Park in South Africa back in 2010. Obviously not getting that much regards, at least at the world level after that World Cup was said and done. Probably going to be the case for Qatar. Alongside many other stadiums, Lusail will also be downgrading at the end of this World Cup from its almost 89,000 seats all the way down to 40,000. So they're cutting more than half of the stadium seats out of it. Of course, rather unfortunate, but then again, good news for Qatar that they will be using these stadiums in the future. Molina lost the ball there, and with that, it's back towards Croatia. Out with Perisic on the left. Now it's Sosa. Kovacic. Gavadio. Modric. Sosa. Scaloni's calling that the ball went out of bounds, and indeed it did. So throw in for Argentina. Of course, this is an Argentina side that has made it quite common to score in the first half. Did it against Netherlands, courtesy of Nahuel Molina. And then they did it against Australia with Lionel Messi. Didn't get that first half goal against Poland, but did end up scoring about 3 minutes into the second half to give them much needed 3 points. Same with Mexico, with Messi having to strike from about 25 yards out to beat Mexican goalkeeper Memo Ochoa. Once again, a throw-in for Argentina. Here's Molina. Once again. Paredes, Messi, and he'll clear this back towards Otamendi. Otamendi in space now, center of the pitch, both in length and width. Now it's out on the left. That is in width. Otamendi again. After his run, now gets it towards Romero. 22nd minute, still 0-0 between Argentina and Croatia. Here's Messi now, trying to go 1-2. Messi in some space, plays it through, looking for his man. Julian Alvarez couldn't get there. Cut out quite significantly too. Kovacic now in the attack, was slowed up there in his run, and with that, no free kick. Looked like the ref was pointing towards the left side of the pitch to indicate a free kick, but nothing seen there. Quite interesting. Now here's Messi. Oh boy. You think about it. One of the most important games of his life, and he's showing the dribbles here today. McAllister caught off guard. Alvarez couldn't get there. No whistle blown. It's back with Argentina. Last touched off. Argentina. Goal kick. Again, Nervy moments here. Let's take a look at this. Gavardio was going to clear it. It was actually right towards Messi. And again, nervy moments here for Dominik Livakovic. Of course, coming off probably the game of his life on Friday. 10 saves in 120 minutes, and then one in the penalty shootout. And then eventually Marquinhos hit the post to send Croatia to this stage. Of course, making it back to the semifinals for the second consecutive World Cup. Of course, France also doing the same. It's been a while since a reigning champ has done that. Of course, 1998, Brazil ended up going to the final in three consecutive editions, winning in 1994 and 2002. Since that, it's been basically a champion's curse. Up until France, at least with with Brazil, it's been the case that if a team were to win the championship, they're most likely out on the group stage. France broke the champions curse in that regards, topping their group, that is Group D. Other than that, it's been an interesting battle. This one, now it's Sosa. As he passes towards midfield, now with Perisic at midfield. Gavardio. And Argentina continues to pressure. That one headed away by DePaul. Back towards Nahuel Molina. 24th minute, little more than halfway through this first half. And again, it's Argentina on the attack, trying to do some damage here. They've had majority of the chances. That is in probably the last 5 minutes. A good chance earlier on, especially with that man, Lionel Messi, as he passes it out towards Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul, Leandro Paredes, Enzo Fernandez trying to play through. This one could be dangerous. Tagliafico sends it across the box, but it's eventually collected there and eventually cleared by Borna Sosa. Again, Nahuel Molina. You talk about the wingbacks for Argentina, and they have gotten up the pitch a lot today. You have to think about it. Obviously, it's interesting to see it, and I think some of it is in their defense. Meanwhile, Messi tries getting it out in the middle. Long shot saved by Livakovic. Again, first shot on target of the match, and this time, once again, Dominik Livakovic with no other point in mind. Good work by him. Let's take a look at the replay. It was a long shot, about 35 yards out from goal, dribbled towards the lower right corner, that is in terms of the field player's angle, before it was Livakovic to save it. Messi able to win it off Modric, but nonetheless given back, and now Croatia will give it back towards Argentina. So again, as I noted, Argentina lined up in the 3-5-2 on Friday against the Netherlands. The reason why they moved to a 4-4-2 today is mainly because of the absence of Marcos Acuna. Of course, he's been playing that left back / left wing back spot throughout this World Cup up until today. That is, he got a yellow card accumulation. Interesting match between Netherlands and Argentina on Friday. That is, there were a total of 17 yellow cards, most yellow cards ever given in a World Cup match. Here's DePaul, now to Messi, about 30 yards out, cut off on the ball. Kovacic again, spinning, dancing, dashing towards goal. Plays it now towards Kramaric. He goes down a little bit, collision, and it's a free kick towards Croatia. Again, caught on the counter, and Andre Kramaric trying to possibly use a little Cruyff there, trying to spin out of a tackle there from Rodrigo DePaul, and eventually was brought down. Let's take a look at this shot. Again, could have been in the bottom right corner. Enzo Fernandez, the one with the shot. Again, another dipping ball through, and Livakovic reading it perfectly, right in the lower right corner, punches it away. Nonetheless, now it's a set piece for Croatia. As standing over the ball for the dead whistle, it's going to be Sosa, Perisic, and Modric now on the ball. Trying to test the Argentine goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. So once again, Modric and Sosa will be over the ball. Perisic just window shopping for now. 2 men on the wall for Argentina. Whistle blows. Here's Modric, whips it into the box, headed away. Good work there by the Argentines. Messi tried getting a run forward. Now it's out here for Molina. Molina now plays it out towards DePaul on the right. What can he do? He whips this one, trying to get back post. That one headed away in defense by Luka Modric. Good work there, as Julian Alvarez was the target. And now the refs whistle blow again. Again, I don't know what it seemed like. Might have been offside. But nonetheless, I think it was actually on Argentina. Either way, back in play. Back in play with Argentina, winners in 1978, winners in 1986. Ever since then, a couple losses at the biggest stage in 1990 and 2014. Overall, Argentina has never lost in a semifinal matchup. And there's once again Scaloni. It's crazy to think Scaloni, just in his 40s overall, but still leading a team to the stage in the semifinals. That too, only coaching this team since 2018 after the fallout from the 2018 World Cup campaign in Russia. Lovren trying to dance. Now back towards Livakovic. Here's Lovren again. He'll pip this forward, looking for Kramaric. That one headed away by Otamendi. Now towards Pasalic. Out with Modric. Kovacic now on the ball with some space. Brozovic too, and tried playing it out wide, deflected. Martinez tried keeping it in play, and he'll slide to clear that one out for Croatia throw-in. Nonetheless, deep in the attacking third right here in the 30th minute. So once again, Josip Juranovic. Now with Modric. Modric, Brozovic, edge of the box, but on the right flank. Tracked with Tagliafico, tried pipping it back towards Modric, and Fernandez will cut it away. Eventually cleared out there by Tagliafico as he was trying to find Messi. So once again, here comes Croatia on the ball. 30 minutes through here. About 60 minutes left to play in this one. Still 0-0 between Argentina and Croatia. Back towards Livakovic as Argentina starts to bring some pressure here in the middle. Nonetheless, here's Lovren. Juranovic, nifty move there. Good move overall. As here's Modric now. Modric towards Kramaric. Now with Pasalic in the middle. Kovacic out with Perisic now on the left flank as he enters the box. Perisic clips it up, and it's a little too far. Trying to potentially catch Martinez off his line. He goes to the ref, begging to potentially get a corner kick, but he's not going to get a goal kick. Again, another nifty chance there for Ivan Perisic, who scored a goal in the World Cup final against France back in 2018. This one, though, tried to be a little cheeky. I don't know if he was maybe going for a cross there to Kramaric in the middle, but nonetheless, crosser shot out for a goal kick. Back towards midfield, back with Argentina. This one clipped through. This could be dangerous. The man's in the clear. There's a deflection, but it's cleared. Cleared off the line. Cleared off the line. Yellow card given. The Argentinian crowd is going delirious right now. It was Julian Alvarez in the middle, trying to potentially chip the goalkeeper to make it 1-0, and it was a great clearance the other way. Nonetheless, a yellow card has been given here at Dominik Livakovic, who might have come off his line. He was the one that collided there with Alvarez. He will be booked for a yellow card. So 32nd minute, presumably, this might be a penalty taken in the foot of Lionel Messi, the left foot of Lionel Messi. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Mateo Kovacic, by the way, picked up a yellow, but it was a ball clipped through. looking for Alvarez. It was clipping towards goal. And again, like I said, trying to just get it back. Got it past Livakovic. And then it ended up being Dejan Lovren that cleared it before it could end up going in the goal. Nonetheless, penalty kick for Argentina on the same side and in the same hands of the man who scored against Netherlands from this very spot on Friday. Lionel Messi, no longer going up against Nopert, now going up against Livakovic, who saved a penalty kick against Brazil in the shootout. Nonetheless, here comes Messi again. Again, goals for him have come from either all the way to the left or all the way to the right of goal in terms of penalty kicks for Argentina. He's kicked a lot for them in his 95th or 95 goals. This to potentially become 96. And more importantly, to make this a 1-0 lead here in the semifinal. All eyes on number 10. It's the same story from 1986 and 1990. All eyes on number 10, a man who has rallied this country to the stage. 34th minute of play. It's Messi, and it's put in the net. Goal for Argentina. And Lionel Messi, once again, makes it 1-0 for Argentina, as he has done throughout this World Cup. Fired towards the top right corner, and Dominik Livakovic was left in no man's land. Argentina 1, Croatia 0 in this World Cup semifinal. And again, let's take a look at this. Alvarez with that and eventually just fired. Buried. Might have put that and the ball was begging to just be stopped. Absolute fire. And Livakovic, who had a stellar performance against Brazil, left there in no man's land. Lionel Messi, once again, makes it 1-0. And more importantly, he's now tied with Kylian Mbappe in the Golden Boot race with 5 goals overall. Of course, Mbappe and France will play tomorrow against Morocco. But as it stands, it's now between Messi and Mbappe for the Golden Boot. It's been a while since Argentina has won the Golden Boot. You have to go back towards Mario Kempes, the captain, I believe, all the way back in 1978, the first time Argentina won the World Cup, that too on home soil. Kempes was a great man there as he scored 6 goals overall for them. Of course, if the Golden Boot race is tied, that is in terms of goals, it will be decided off assists. So I'm trying to see how many assists Mbappe has. It's also been a while since France has won that award too, so quite stellar in that regards. Nonetheless, as I said before, Croatia's been in this position many times in this World Cup against Canada, against Japan, and against Brazil. In all those matches, they ended up winning either in regulation or on penalties. They're not a team that's used to being down 1-0, so do not count this Croatia team out just yet. We have about 9 minutes or so plus stoppage time before the first half whistle blows. Sosa tried playing it through here for Perisic, deflected away for an Argentina throw-in. If you're just tuning in, Lionel Messi has made it 1-0, courtesy of a penalty kick from the spot. So I'm looking right now. Mbappe also with 2 assists. So as it stands, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe are both at 5 goals and 2 assists, meaning the Golden Boot race, as it stands right now, would be shared between those two. Meanwhile, Lionel Messi tried going on the break again, cut out there by Sosa and back towards Livakovic. A little bit outside his goal, about 18 yards out from it. That is from his goal, not from the box. Kovacic. Now towards the right-hand side. Brozovic. Kramaric. It's moved out to the right now. He cuts inside. He'll flip the pitch. Was trying to find Sosa. Now it's in the middle, courtesy of Perisic. Now it's out with Sosa on the right. Whipped in, headed away. Good work there on the track back. I think it was Paredes there with the cutout too. Modric. Now with Lovren, the center back. Out with Juranovic again. He whips this one in, or at least tried to. Deflected by McAllister and out for Croatia corner kick. Crazy the thing too. I mean, you think about the goals that Messi has scored in this World Cup. 3 of them came from the penalty spot. 1 against Netherlands, 1 against Saudi Arabia, and 1 today. Interestingly enough, they've also all been in the stadium, Lusail Stadium. Once again, a corner kick now for Croatia. Taken short by Modric, out towards Brozovic. His cross blocked away, and it's headed there. Maybe a chance for Argentina. Messi trying to get forward. Nonetheless, here's Alvarez. More guys coming forward. Alvarez going forward. Alvarez cutting into the box. Still going. Alvarez into the net. Oh, my word. What a dribble. He is a youngster, but that is brilliant. The protege taking a break right off his mentor. It is 2-0 in favor of Argentina right here in the 39th minute. Lionel Messi is going la crazy. La loco. La loca. Absolute scenes here, and it is now 2-0. The Argentinians starting to celebrate here. Obviously, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They've been in this position before, and they've collapsed it, but let's take a look at that. Might have been the dribble of the year by Julian Alvarez. It was Messi who went down initially and pipped it out towards Alvarez in the middle. Despite his chances, he went into the box. How about that? Still going on the ball and just poked it right past Livakovic. You would probably have to count maybe 5 or 6 people from Croatia that try to stop Argentina and Alvarez. But the Manchester City man just kept going like a freight train all the way into the back of the net. That was the only station it was going to stop at. How about that? Angel Di Maria on the bench, watching it in full stride. 2-0 now in favor of Argentina. If you want to know a fun fact, now that we've got this far, the last time a match in the semifinals ended up in a multi-goal win for one team, not including Germany's 7-1 win against Brazil back in 2014, you have to go all the way back to 1986. Both of the matchups there were decided by 2 goals. One of those matchups, Argentina, led by Diego Maradona at the time, against Belgium, in which Lionel Messi won 2-0. Now here's Messi again. Might want to get a trio before this one's said and done, for all you know. Out towards Enzo Fernandez on the left. Fernandez now was thinking about cutting inside, now towards the middle. What happens here? DePaul now. DePaul rips a shot. That's deflected and will trickle out for a corner kick. At least he tried to think it was a corner kick. Now he's going to the ref begging that it was. Might also be begging that there might have been a handball. I think he was, because the defender, that being Gavardio, had his hands behind and might have creeped out a little bit, and DePaul might be being a little too lenient in that. Of course, in some leagues, including the MLS, if the ball simply hits the hand, it's a penalty no matter what, because it is a handball. This year, the World Cup has been a little more lenient in terms of that call. DePaul is still arguing about it, trying to get his plea in. Of course, goal number 3 would, I wouldn't say be a nail to the coffin, but at least would present Croatia with their coffin in this one. So once again, another corner kick will be swung in once again by Lionel Messi. Here's Messi, swung into the box. Header! Just saved, and it might have glanced off the back post. Dominik Livakovic is being pummeled with rocks right now by Argentina. Alexis McAllister with the chance this time. McAllister and Tagliafico. Tagliafico made a running header in. It was McAllister with the chance on goal. How about that? And Livakovic again with a much-needed save for Croatia in this one. So once again, Lionel Messi now goes to the other side of the pitch, that being the right side for Argentina to take this one. 43rd minute of play. "43rd minute, Messi swings it in, and again, another punch away. Needed there by Livakovic. Messi might have touched it last, but it might have been Modric as it goes out for another Argentina throw-in deep in the attacking third. This time DePaul will be the one to take it. Molina going a little 1-2 and just gives it right back towards Croatia. Perisic tried breaking through, but it went out for an Argentina throw-in. So in the course of about 4 minutes or so, Argentina has turned the momentum entirely in their favor. Lionel Messi, 34th minute from the spot, and then Alvarez in the 39th. Arguably one of the best counterattacks I've seen. Messi with the initial chance, and Alvarez took it forward. Crazy to think. Julian Alvarez played kind of as a striker in the middle during his time at City, obviously overshadowed by the likes of Gabriel Jesus and now Erling Haaland. But of course, overall, he's really shown his depth, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially off his performance today. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a call up to potentially a better team, because right now it's kind of in my honest opinion, I could see Alvarez potentially be a striker or even a forward in general on like some team, or maybe not like a team like Manchester City, not at that caliber, but I could see him like maybe in like a mid-major team, maybe in England, but also elsewhere, and potentially be that star striker that he's supposed to be. I mean, he's 22 years old, and I mean, he's approaching the fruit of his time as a soccer player. I gotta say, it's pretty good overall. Here's Kovacic, as here comes Croatia the other way. Kramaric out towards Modric. Modric's shot is blocked. Out towards Juranovic, edge of the box. Juranovic into the box, saved by Martinez. Rebound can't be steered on frame. Pasalic there making the run. Mario Pasalic with a chance there to cut the lead in half. And it was actually, I think, Martinez who just had to clip it at that time. Good. Think about a lot of success stories. One of those guys being Emiliano Martinez. 10 years ago, he was on loan with a fourth-tier team in England. And now, of course, playing in a World Cup semifinal for Argentina. How about that young man right there? Julian Alvarez. Third goal overall at this World Cup, and a beauty right now. As it stands, it's the insurance goal for Argentina that would book them to what would right now be their fifth World Cup final appearance. Actually, no, pardon me. Sixth World Cup final appearance. They won in 78 and 86. Lost in 90, lost in 2014, lost in 1930 to Uruguay in the first ever World Cup final. So we're now in stoppage time. We're about a minute through, about 3 minutes left to go in this first half. And again, if you're just tuning in, it's been a little bit more half and half than many people would expect, at least in terms of chances. However, Argentina being the one to make the most of it, and obviously being the one more potent in these areas. Here's Molina now, up against Sosa. Tried giving it back towards DePaul. DePaul able to win the cut. Now it's towards Messi on the right. Messi once again tried cutting back, and DePaul lost it there. Kramaric again tried playing into the middle, and again cut out there by the Argentinians. Again, a lot of interceptions today, as we've seen throughout this matchup. 28 Argentina had going into this one, third overall in terms of the four teams remaining. This one played through, and here comes Alvarez again. Edge of the box, 2 minutes left, and His cross deflected away, and offside flag has gone up. Kovacic again. Modric. Sosa. Sosa again. Still in the attacking third, or rather approaching it more into the midfield. Kramaric, good move there on DePaul. Kramaric now still in the area, trying to cut inside. Goal would be big here for Croatia. Out towards Perisic. On the right, his cross, trying to go near post, but it sails onto the top netting of the goal. That is the outside top netting of the goal. And out for a goal kick. Let's take a look at this. Julian Alvarez might have been, like I said before, the best dribble I might have seen at this World Cup. Counter-attacking heaven at its best. Of course, Lionel Messi had the initial chance, was taken down, and then Alvarez did there. Ronaldinho watching up in the suites today, applauding from his seat. Of course, a magician in his own mind when he was out there on the pitch doing the magic. It's great to see the magician now has some proteges in general. And of course, too, supporting his former teammate in Lionel Messi. Those two, Ronaldinho and Messi, spent a few years together at FC Barcelona. So here's Martinez again. Got about less than a minute to go here in this first half. Kovacic. And one back by Argentina again. This one out towards Messi. Messi, good move there on the right. As he still cuts inside. He's still going with the ball. Messi now in the corner goes down. Free kick, Argentina. How about that dribble by Lionel Messi? How about that? Lionel Messi juking out Brozovic and then put Gavardio on the rack as well. Brozovic with the initial foul. With that, it is halftime here from Lusail Stadium. On the score sheet, it's been all Argentina, 2-0 in favor of the reigning Copa America champions. Lionel Messi making it 1-0 from the spot in the 34th minute, and Julian Alvarez with his third goal of this campaign in the 39th. Again, a few minutes off for me, and then I'll be back for the second half in a few minutes. Stick around, folks. You're watching my reaction videos of the 2022 World Cup right here on YouTube. 45 minutes down, 45 to go from Stadium, and it's Argentina up 2-0 against Croatia in this first semifinal of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. I'm Hirson Hassan. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday afternoon. Great day so far. The sun is out here in Cincinnati, Ohio for the first time in a few days. And so far for Argentina, just as their flag, nice and sunny so far as they're currently up 2-0 against Croatia. Lionel Messi, the man, the myth, the legend in those parts of Argentina, had made it 1-0 in the 34th minute from the penalty spot. And then Julian Alvarez, many of whom are touting to potentially take Messi's spot in that number 9, or at least the star striker role going on forward in Argentina's history. He got the goal in the 39th minute from a great dribble from about 50, 60 yards out to make it 2-0. And so the pressure now comes to Croatia. They were down early on against France. They were down against England too. In 2018, they equalized to send the match to extra time. In their matchup against France back in 1998, that one too, a semifinal matchup. France ended up winning that one on the score. It was an interesting score as well, from the score of 2-1. Actually, in that one, Croatia scored the first goal, courtesy of Davor Suker, who ended up having the golden boot in that edition of the World Cup. Lilian Thuram had a brace in that one to complete the comeback for France 2-1 and hold on after Laurent Blanc was sent off for a red card. So back here at Lusail Stadium, winner of this match will be playing on Sunday right here for the final. 45 minutes down and 45 to go to see if Argentina holds on and will be back to the World Cup final for the 6th time in program history, or will Croatia head back for the 2nd consecutive edition? Again, this is an interesting matchup unto itself, where you have Argentina, the 2014 runner-ups, going up against Croatia, the 2018 runner-ups. As Messi pips us out, DePaul goes to the end line trying to keep this in, but he can't. So throw in for Croatia. So once again, not too many changes. The only change for Croatia being Orsic coming on, I believe, for Sosa. Orsic had a couple assists in this World Cup, one of them being to Bruno Petkovic to tie the match against Brazil. Meanwhile, foul in the attacking third, and it's a free kick for Croatia. Nicolas Otamendi, the man called for the foul there on Vlasic, another guy who was checked into this one. So a couple changes for Croatia at the half. I'll have to check. So it's going to be Vlasic on Nikola Vlasic on for Pasalic, and of course, as I said earlier, Mislav Orsic on for Borna Sosa. Once again, another free kick, and once again, the ball will be at the feet of Luka Modric. Only one man on the wall for Argentina, that being Lionel Messi. A lot of big bodies in the box, including Perisic, a man who's used to scoring at these big type of games. Modric once again, take two, whipped into the box, back post, cut there by Emiliano Martinez. Again, a good catch there. You talk about it too. I talked about Martinez and how 10 years ago he was playing at an English side in the 4th tier. Think about it too. Aston Villa man making his 25th cap, despite him being 30 years old. 30 years old, but making his 25th cap overall. Of course, goalkeeper for Argentina has kind of been a big question mark. Franco Armani was their starter back in 2018. He's also on the squad this year, but albeit 36 years old and only 18 caps under his belt. So believe it or not, you think about it, Martinez, that is Emi Martinez, has already, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's already surpassed Armani in caps given or caps played at this World Cup alone. Quite an achievement for him. Nonetheless, this one played down the left. Here's Alexis McAllister up against Dejan Lovren. McAllister in the middle for Messi. Messi goes down, gets up, no foul called yet. Still a bustle in the box. One back by McAllister, who dribbles now at the edge of the box. He goes down, and there's still no foul called. Nonetheless, DePaul, his shot right towards Livakovic. It's actually Paredes there, I think, who had the chance with the Argentinian on the ground. But either way, many chances and no whistles. Surprisingly, no whistles. Where you've had probably maybe 2 or 3 guys going down, one man in a heap of pain, and still remaining in a heap of pain. That might be McAllister who is down. Let's check and see. It was actually, yes, indeed, it was McAllister. Looks like the Brighton and Hove Albion man will be up and will be okay, though. So here's Martinez again. 50th minute of play, about 41 minutes plus stoppage time if Croatia were to equalize here. If not, Argentina on to the finals, looking for revenge and once again trying to become the first team in a while to win Copa America and the World Cup. That too in back-to-back editions. Brazil did it in 2002, winning the World Cup, and then 2004, winning Copa America. I don't think it's been the other way around, though, where someone won Copa America and then backed it up by winning Euro, and then you never know. Regardless of what happens in this one or regardless of what happens in the final third-place game, what have you, still interesting, still very important to see Argentina. Change here as Marcelo Brozovic is off and Bruno Petkovic scored the equalizer against Brazil. He is now on, and I would presume playing kind of a second striker, kind of that two playing alongside Andre Kramaric, or even playing the true man up top and moving Kramaric out to the right potentially. We did see that kind of in a pseudo way against Brazil on Friday. So once again, out towards Juranovic. Juranovic flicked to the middle, cleared away. Petkovic, the one trying to orchestrate the attack there. That too, edge of the box. Josko Gavadio. Kovacic, Modric. Now out on the left, Orsic. Now Perisic. Those two, I think, will be an interesting combo for sure. Nonetheless, this one now in the middle. Petkovic tried getting out towards Modric, tried winning the ball back, and nonetheless, here comes Argentina and Enzo Fernandez now in the attack. Here's Fernandez trying to lay it off towards Messi, but it's a good cut there off the backtrack. I believe it might have been Orsic. Nonetheless, here he is taking the ball up. Modric. Out on the left is Kramaric, who is now there. Kovacic again. And now once again picked off by Argentina. Might be the story of the game so far, or at least how the second half may play out. Croatia needing 2 goals to get something. That one almost played through for Petkovic. Might have been a dangerous diagonal ball had it not been cut out there. Once again, edge of the box. Chance here for Croatia. Goes out now on the right side. Nikola Vlasic. Vlasic now crosses it in. Deflected. And Martinez will catch it. So once again, Croatia will be the ones knocking on the door so far. This is where Brazil kind of got themselves in a heap of trouble, at least on Friday. And there were many fans saying, why didn't Brazil just put everybody behind the ball and total defend rather than go and get an insurance goal? And that was a problem that caused Croatia to get that. Bruno Petkovic scored 2 on Croatia's first shot on goal in that match, believe it or not, as the foul's committed there. I believe it was DePaul, and indeed it was, who committed the foul there for Argentina. Modric again. It's That one, once again, deflected out. I believe it goes back towards Argentina. As Lionel Messi will hope to see this one out. Again, they've been in sticky situations before, to say the least, when it comes to these types of matches. We're up 1-0 against Saudi Arabia. Eventually lost that match 2-1 here at Lusail Stadium. Kind of got themselves in a sticky situation against Australia, up 2-0. Enzo Fernandez had an own goal with about 5 minutes left in regulation, and Australia kept pounding for an equalizer and almost got it in the end. It wasn't for some great stops by Lisandro Martinez and Emiliano Martinez. But in the end, they've survived. Netherlands, too, they actually cocked up the leaders. 2-2, caused the game to go to extra time and eventually to penalties where they won. So for Croatia, they're still in this one. This one is not all said and done. But as we are now in the 55th minute, they're going to have to find some chances, maybe some quick, just to get some momentum back on their side. I mean, that too. Although you think about it, with Netherlands, they got theirs in the course of about 2 goals in about 25 minutes. And if you look at like the time between those 2 goals, it was about 15 minutes. So kind of, you never know. You never know. But still. Juranovic. One cut out there by Otamendi. Again, Croatia has had a few chances, 52 shots in general in this World Cup. Shots on goal at 20, both of which are third amongst the 4 teams remaining. Obviously, Morocco, I mean, I think truly lives by the statement, offense wins games, defense wins championships, because their offense is not the best, but their defense is probably the best amongst all these 4 teams, probably the best amongst every team we've seen at the World Cup in this edition. Kovacic now. Modric. Modric still circling. Lovren. Modric. Modric now playing through. Out towards Vlasic. Vlasic trying to play into the middle there. Petkovic and Kramaric in the box. Nonetheless, this one clipped forward. Maybe a chance here for Alvarez. Here's Alvarez, men coming in the middle. Here's a chance now for Fernandez. He lost it. Messi, though, wins it back. What can he do? Out on the edge of the box, on the left flank. Now he'll circle around. McAllister. Now towards Tagliafico. Enzo Fernandez. He actually scored his first goal for Argentina at the stadium against Mexico. Here's DePaul. Molina hassled there a little bit by Orsic. Going with Orsic and Perisic. His cross was a dainty one as it's easily picked off there by Croatia. Juranovic tried pipping this through, and once again, Argentina brings their pressure on, wins it right back. That too with Otamendi coming through. You know, Argentina was caught in some kind of quandary too with the Netherlands game. They're not going to back down. They're going to try to get goal number 3 and officially put this one on ice, trying to get back to World Cup final. Lionel Messi was the only guy on the squad back in 2014 who was in that final. That is, or at least on the squad during that final. Everybody else, pretty brand new. Speaking of Messi, here he is, cutting to the left, trying to get a strangler off of him. Fernandez plays it to Messi in the clear. Save there by Livakovic. Again, a big chance, and maybe Messi could have been fouled there in the middle. Meanwhile, a foul is called on the right, probably a more blatant one indeed. But how about this? Lionel Messi, man. Saw the chance and actually could have made it 3-0, possibly. So once again, here's Croatia. I'm feeling like good old John Strong right now. Here's a chance now. Shot blocked away. Might have been Perisic there, but I don't know. Juranovic, Modric, edge of the box, back out now towards Vlasic on the right flank. Vlasic dances, left-footed cross, brought in towards Petkovic. Petkovic swarmed out on the edge now. Kovacic, and eventually out towards Kovacic. It was actually Kramaric with a chance there. This one once again swung, and that one again headed away, back towards Kovacic. Deflected last off, couldn't tell, but either way, might be a change coming up. Now I think there'll be some talk here. Let's take a look at this too. By the way, props to FIFA for the overhead angle. But Lionel Messi with a great chance in the great chance, and I mean he almost had a guy on his back for the entire dribble. I mind you. Rather unfortunate for him that can't bag goal number 2 of the day. That would have actually surpassed Mbappe in the Golden Boot race. I mean, at the rate he's going, he's probably already winning Golden Ball in terms of his production. Trying to turn back the clock and try to act like this 2014. You got a World Cup title on the line. Perisic, cross driven and low, and once again, cleared away. Enzo Fernandez, Messi again tried going forward, out towards Tagliafico. And again, McAllister was the one to try to send this forward. 60th minute of play, 31 minutes plus stoppage time left. And once again, Argentina remains up 1-0 against, or 2-0, pardon me, against Croatia. Goals by Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez, the two men sitting up top today for La Albiceleste, has them as of now on to the final. Again, a big chance there for a lot of these guys, including Lionel Messi, who started the match against Germany back in 2014 at the Maracanã, lost 1-0 to Germany in extra time, courtesy of a late goal by Mario Götze. And ever since then, it's been a chase once again for Lionel Messi and crew. Of course, Diego Maradona won a major title, and that was the narrative for Messi for a long time. Eventually got that major title and winning Copa America, especially in terms of comparing apples to apples. Less of the case more to Maradona and more of the case comparing him towards Cristiano Ronaldo with Portugal. Of course, over the past 10, 15 years, the greatest debate in soccer has been who's a better player, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. And of course, you can look at their titles. Ronaldo won the Euro with Portugal back in 2016. And then Messi eventually got that major title in 2021, winning the Copa America. Meanwhile, foul now in the attacking area, and Croatia once again just trying to salvage what they can of this match. So now the question is for Messi and crew, and especially for Messi's legacy. You look at the guys who have worn number 10 for Argentina. One of those guys being Diego Maradona, may he rest in peace. But overall, he won a World Cup back in 1986, led Argentina to another one back in 1990. For Lionel Messi and crew to get that win would be super helpful for him, and especially in that legacy of living up to the Argentina greats. Meanwhile, change here for Argentina. Their first of the day, Leandro Paredes is off, and Lisandro Martinez is now on. So I would guess now we're going to see that switch now to the 5-back line, where you'll have Otamendi and Romero alongside Martinez. The question becomes now, where does Scaloni decide to play Tagliafico and Molina? I think more importantly with Molina, the fact that his backup, Gonzalo Montiel, not available today off yellow card accumulation. Nonetheless, this one sent into the box. Header in the area, punched away by Martinez, still there, now cleared away by the Argentinians. Great work there by both sides. Dejan Lovren, the closest man to the ball, and I think the man who had the shot for Croatia on that set piece. Nonetheless, Kovacic tried going forward, cut out. Back towards McAllister. Has to circle back here with Vlasic in his face. Once again. So a lot of time left in this one if Croatia were to equalize. We saw this on Friday. But more and more Argentina pressures, more and more, it's likely they could get the third and overall just keep momentum. Here's Tagliafico out towards Alvarez. Alvarez will switch this all the way to the right side for Molina. Molina trying to head it towards Messi, and it's a good body check there by Croatia. Legal one, and it's out for a throw-in. Let's take a look at that. Lovren had a chance to potentially head it in before Martinez came swooping in to kind of rift it away. Back towards it. Was still bouncing in the area, though. Juranovic now, look at his speed. But look at that tackle, too, by Nicolas Tagliafico. automatically feeding it in for McAllister, who surveys now. It's back with him at midfield. Again, lots and lots of opportunities for Argentina. Whistle is blown, and once again, whistle blows, play is stopped, and once again, it's going to be Argentina with the ball, fresh off a free kick. And free kicks for Argentina, one of their strong suits overall. 92 going into this one. That is first amongst teams left in the World Cup, probably first overall as well, I would guess. DePaul, now with Romero. So once again, we're seeing that three-back line with Romero, Otamendi, and Lisandro Martinez. We saw this on Friday to start off the match against the Netherlands before officially moving back. Romero to the middle. Here's Messi. Enzo Fernandez. Cristian Romero again. Messi. Good move. So he once again gets it out. We're seeing a vintage Messi today, I'll tell you that. And I think a lot of people are enjoying seeing it so far, although he will be called for the foul here on Vlasic at around midfield. 65th minute of play, so now I'm getting the 5-minute tickers down, I'll tell you that. As we now have about 25 minutes left, plus stoppage time, of course. Gavadio, Perisic plays it in towards Orsic. Orsic now Kramaric. Kramaric now, edge of the box, starting to be worked away. Now leaves it off towards Kovacic. And now the cycle continues. That one crunching tackle away by Tagliafico. And here comes Julian Alvarez again. Down the left-hand side. He's got numbers in the area. Tagliafico there. Messi was out on the right. Now it's back towards Molina. What can Molina do? Molina still waits, lets it fly. Messi can't get ahead to it. As eventually it's sent out, and here comes Luka Modric on a counterattack. He's shoved down by Alvarez. It's going to be a free kick and probably a yellow card for him as well. Now Scaloni there too. He's already got a yellow from his altercations with the quarterfinals. Now, I should tell you that all yellow cards have been eliminated in terms of trying to keep track. Of course, there's a rule that if a player were to get 2 yellow cards in a tournament, they would have to miss the next game. That does not apply to the semifinals. So, if any of these guys were to get a yellow card, it does not rule them out for the final, unless if they were to get a second yellow, which would warrant a red card or a straight red. Neither of which we have seen today, neither of which we haven't seen that much in this World Cup. Little foul there by Orsic, back towards Argentina. Still 2-0 in favor of La Albiceleste. And again, you got both sides passionate there. Stars showing out as well. David Beckham and crew. Also in the suites today, of course, his England side did not win, unfortunately, against France, but still cheering on a lot of teammates as well. Still cheering on the beautiful game at its best, especially at this stage. Here's Kovacic. Back towards Livakovic. This one back out towards the middle, and without another foul called, yellow card given towards Argentina again. That one going towards Cristian Romero. And again, it was a kind of a nasty foul. Bruno Petkovic, the one fouled there for Croatia. Here's Modric. Out on the wing now. Kramaric. Lost it there off Fernandez, who just clears it away. And once again out towards a Croatia throw-in now. And Rodrigo De Paul, I mean, he's kind of enjoying this one. He's got a nifty smile on his face throughout this entire encounter, even when he's gotten fouled. He's enjoying it so far, which is a good sign. Meanwhile, here's Messi down the right, only man in the box. He's still going now, as he was in the box, now at the edge of it on the right flank. Trying to get past Gavardio. Messi still going. Shot into the net. Goal for Argentina. And Julian Alvarez with his second goal of the day. It is now 3-0 in favor of Argentina right here in the 69th minute. A beautiful dribble by Lionel Messi, and Julian Alvarez, as his number states, number 9, slots it in the net. Argentina well on their way right now, well at the doorstep to victory and on their way to the final. How about that for a side like Croatia, a team that is kind of gives me flashbacks though to 2018. How about this dribble though? Holy smokes. Lionel Messi putting Josko Gavardio on a swivel and Julian Alvarez right there in the middle to bury it. Fourth goal in Qatar, and Lionel Messi now with his third assist, meaning if Kylian Mbappe were to not get any type of goal or assist tomorrow against Morocco, Lionel Messi would be the Golden Boot winner at this 2022 World Cup. What a performance from those two, Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez. Messi with now a goal and assist, Alvarez with his second goal of the day. And now with 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining, Croatia would now officially have to pull off a miracle to equalize this match. Three 0 now in favor of Argentina. Safe to say, probably the best adjective to describe this match, boisterous. Boisterous in many appearances from the Argentina attack and boisterous on defense. Croatia's come close a few times to potentially getting their first goal, but Argentina has remained stagnant over time. Free kick for Croatia on the edge of the attacking third here. Yellow card again. I mean, this time towards Otamendi. So now you got two of your three center backs out there on a yellow card. I think the question becomes now with Scaloni, and as this match goes along, the fact that you don't want any of your guys to get a yellow card, which would prohibit them from playing in the final against either France or Morocco on Sunday. The question becomes, do you take those guys? I mean, you got Romero, you got Otamendi. Do you take one of those guys out and put someone else in? I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that could come in off the bench. Maybe Juan Foyth. He's got a few taps as a right back and center back. Same could be said with Pesea, who came in the match against Netherlands. He could also come in. Speaking of coming in, Andre Kramaric will be heading out, and coming in for Croatia will be number 14, Marco Livaya. Kind of a like-for-like change there. Kramaric playing forward, and so is Livaya. Livaya playing with Hajduk Split in Croatia, making his 19th cap today. Nonetheless, free kick here in the 73rd minute. As always, Luka Modric to stand over the ball. Nonetheless, Perisic shoots it, and it's saved there by Martinez. A little bit of a longer run up there by Perisic, and with the left foot, sends it dribbling towards the ground. Not the best wall, too, by Argentina. It wasn't formidable in the sense that it was connected. But still, Croatia remains knocking on the door for Argentina. They're knocking on the door more for a victory rather than a goal. But either way, I love the crowd. That crowd, I mean, I tell you, Argentina, they've come to play today. Kind of almost playing as the home side in this one, just from the amount of numbers they have in this area. I don't know if anybody has ever scored a hat trick in a World Cup semifinal. Of course, Jeffrey Hurst did it for England, back in 1966 when they beat Germany. That was by the score of 4-2. But I don't think anybody has ever had a World Cup hat trick, and not even in that 7-1 Germany Brazil game. At least I don't think so. Nonetheless, changes coming, and Rodrigo de Paul's day is done. So Messi's bodyguard is off. A good shift today from him, playing right midfielder, which is not necessarily his biggest role overall. Hekia Palacios will come on for him. And also heading off in a big curtain call for this man right here. 22 years old, and if you're looking for someone to say who's going to be carrying on the attacking loving for Argentina, carrying on that attacking power, I think you might have found your man today in Julian Alvarez. 2 Messi-style goals for him. One with a 50-yard dribble with a great finish over the goalkeeper, and another one finding the open space and burying it in the back of the net. He heads off, and Paulo Dybala heads in for his first few minutes of this World Cup. In fact, believe it or not. Paulo Dybala, of course, spent a lot of few years at Juventus, now playing in some different spaces overall. Now he's playing over in Roma, but he spent so many years at Juventus, actually had tears in his eyes to leave that club, as was the case with Messi and many others, not just in Argentina, but worldwide whenever they leave a long-time club. Either way, 15 minutes left, and it looks like for Croatia, Luka Modric especially, their captain, 37 years old, and likely his final major tournament, so that long shot parries over the bar. Perisic with the chance there. Looks like Croatia is getting closer to defeat. They'll be playing at Khalifa International Stadium on Saturday against the loser of France versus Morocco. So it's not bad for Croatia. Could get a rematch of the 2018 final if they face France. You could get a rematch of their opening group stage match if they play Morocco. Interestingly enough, that would be the second World Cup in a row we would have a rematch of a group stage game as the third place game. Can you believe that? That's pretty impressive. And I think like Belgium and England was a little more expected, knowing the caliber that both teams had over time and overall in that regards. But you think about it, like I mean, this is I think the craziness of this World Cup. Like Croatia, low-key, I thought Croatia could get in as like a second seed. Obviously, with Belgium in their group, says something unto itself. Here's Messi now, gets out towards McAllister. Could they be going for 4 here? Potentially. Try to lay it on. Tagliafico. Now towards McAllister. Messi now credited with the goal and assist. He actually could be credited with the second assist if you look at least his dribble on Julian Alvarez's goal. That, of course, Alvarez had a majority of it. But when you think about it, I think Messi actually might have gotten a touch there to push it towards Alvarez. So in that sense, he actually has a rib okay today. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. But I'll still be monitoring. Still be fun. All right, it looks like I'm fine. I think I can hold it in. Still time left. About 15, 20 minutes. I think I can do it. Nonetheless, this one once again booted forward. Good work here by Argentina. You think about it too, like with Argentina, how they kind of want to pressure themselves to be that and, hold themselves at a high standard. Why not go for the clean sheet here? I think you think about it, especially for that defensive side. Now, that's probably why we have maybe not seen that many changes overall, maybe from the defensive side. Keep those sides in, like those players, that is, and still hold the clean sheet. It's still important overall. Nonetheless, chance here for Croatia, and the shot kind of about 15 yards out just was sent wide of goal. And again, I think it was Orsic with the chance. I've said this before. I have Argentina winning the World Cup in many of my brackets. So I've got a little bit of bias towards Argentina. France and Morocco is going to be interesting tomorrow because if there was one team, one legit team that's in on that side of the bracket and in the World Cup in general, I doubted was France. I thought they were going to suffer the champions curse, and I apologize because they've been more than that. Definitely when you look at how they've played this year. But I gotta say, Morocco's going to be an interesting test. But you look at Portugal's attack, you look at Spain's attack, now you look at France's attack. Obviously, in my opinion, I think it actually gets progressively better as it goes along. It's going to be a test for Bono on that defense if they can hold on in that one. But I think if Argentina showed anything today, it's like even if you have the two-man wrecking ball with Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez, it's enough to kind of collapse the Croatia defense that has kind of stood their ground over time. Not just was the case against Brazil, but overall in this World Cup to at least play stagnant and play offensive as well, to be a tag team at its true regards. Nonetheless, here comes Croatia, maybe trying to pull off a miracle, as I said before. Modric, shot blocked and back towards Martinez. And I think it was Modric. Might have actually gone off of Modric's head. It was initially blocked there by an Argentinian, and then Modric, at least his face, suffered the consequences for the power there. So now, 80th minute of play, about 10 minutes plus stoppage time, and again, Argentina 3-0, and as we get closer to the end of this match, Argentina starts to party like it's 2014. That was an interesting squad as well. A little bit more of a closer match, of course, as they beat Netherlands on penalties. It was 0-0 at the end of 120 minutes, and then beat the Dutch 4-2 on penalties. But nonetheless, quite boisterous. It'll be the first time since that Germany-Brazil beat down there in Brasilia, 7-1 in favor of the Germans, in which a team will win a match by multiple goals in regulation. It happened, I think it actually might have happened in 2006, where Italy beat Germany 2-0, but in other sense, that one was in extra time. Meanwhile, Croatia, big change for them. Luka Modric will be heading off. What a career he has had for this national team. And if this was his last game in a major tournament, props to him. Of course, led this team in 2018, got Golden Ball, got Ballon d'Or for his chances there. Obviously, won Champions League with Real Madrid earlier that year. 37 years old, though, 161 caps, 23 goals, and of course, a great time playing over at Real Madrid. Coming over for him is going to be Lovro Mayer, number 7. Mayer we saw once again in the match against Brazil. So it's out with Molina. Again, as I said earlier, Molina might have to play the full 90 today. Montiel unable to start because of yellow card accumulation. Also, decent work here by Nicolas Tagliafico. Started the match against Saudi Arabia. Ever since, it's been Marcos Acuna who's been getting the minutes in that spot. And speaking of Tagliafico, making the pressure here as Livakovic got it out towards Lovren, back towards Livakovic. Just has to boot that up in the air. Can't catch it there unless he wants a free kick inside the box for Argentina. Enzo Fernandez goes down. Free kick. Or, pardon me, not Enzo Fernandez. Ezequiel Palacios. Meanwhile, here comes Argentina again. Shot just goes wide. It was a good 1-2 combo there, and Alexis McAllister couldn't put it away there for goal number 4. How about that, though? Good pip overall. It's hard to tell who that pip was, but either way, McAllister, he's been knocking on the door as well for a goal. Scored the game winner against Poland in their last group stage match, and Messi was also there cheering him by his side. This one clipped out to the left, and that one headed away there, believe by Molina. It's out for a Croatia throw-in now, once again, back in the attacking third. One back here by Fernandez and back towards Messi. Again, the magician right now is putting on an encore. Whatever he's doing. Molina Now you got an overlap. Molina will keep it to himself for now. He will take the dribble, and it's eventually cut out there by Gavadio and crew. Perisic, again, trying to get it out to his men. Here's Orsic on the left. Orsic, Pekovic tried getting there. Great cut there by Lisandro Martinez. 5'9", but a reliable center back nonetheless. Lovro Mayer. Again, you think about it for Croatia too. I mean, of course, 2016 and 2020 Euros were not the best for them, but overall, pretty good as this one's sent to the box, still there, and now headed away by Tagliafico. But as I was saying, you think about it, Croatia, though, I think even with that number two and having a tough group, I mean, you think about it, Canada, Morocco, and Belgium, any of those four teams, in my honest opinion, could have gone to the knockout. Able to squeeze in, get that second seed, and then beat a Japan side that won the actual group of death in Spain and Germany. Here's Meyer now. Whips this one in, low to the box, back post. Nobody there to meet it. Again, a good chance for Lovren. Perisic might have gotten another flick onto it. Again, we've seen Ivan Perisic there in the box many times in this one. As it looks like 85 minutes through, 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Let me get a swig of water while I'm at it. As I said, you got an interesting one tomorrow, too. France versus Morocco. I actually heard today that Morocco is giving free tickets to 13,000 of their fans for the match. It's going to be a good one. They're expecting about 40,000 in the stands tomorrow at Albion Stadium. Meanwhile, Alexis McAllister and Nahuel Molina are off on in their spots. Are going to be, let's see, number 15, Angel Correa. That is for McAllister. And coming in for Molina will be Juan Foyth, the other fullback out there, of course, with Montiel being on yellow card accumulation suspension. Foyth will be getting some extra minutes here. Of course, a lot of big numbers there. Paulo Dybala there. Of course, another veteran on this team. Hasn't been playing that many minutes. I think maybe if Scaloni wants to bring one more. Actually, never mind. He's used all of the substitutions for today. I was surprised Dybala came in. I thought might give it over. I mean, this is just my bias. But potentially Thiago Almada came in as an injury replacement for them. Almada, one of the youngest, I believe, youngest guy on the squad, born April 26th, 2001, currently with Atlanta United in MLS. Of course, that's where my biases comes in. Watching MLS for most of the time, most of my soccer background's in MLS. So 88th minute of play. So I kind of I kind of broke the 5-minute stretch, but either way, 3-0 in favor of Argentina. And you think about it, it's a source of karma for Croatia. They scored 3 second-half goals against Argentina on that very day at Nizhny Novgorod to push La Bieleste to the point of elimination. Of course, Argentina picked up 3 points against Nigeria to eventually qualify for the knockouts before going out in the round of 16. Today at Lusail Stadium, in the semifinals of this World Cup, revenge is being served very cold here in the desert. Messi couldn't get the touch there, and again, it's a little too far for Foyth to get his first touch of the match. Either way, for Lionel Messi, who showed a sign of sadness after that very day in Nizhny Novgorod, he was never going to play like that again. He was never going to be part of an Argentina team that was playing that lackluster. He knew, along with Scaloni and Cruz, when he came in, this was going to be a team that was going to be potent. Speaking of which, here comes Croatia on the attack. It's Meyer's shot goes right towards Martinez. And that's right there. A potent team on the attack, as we've seen today, but on the defense as well. Especially starting with their goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. Only getting caps earlier on, just a few years ago, starting with COVID. Was the starting goalkeeper at Copa America. Of course, had a shootout with them when they beat Uruguay there. Goalkeepers are part of the CEO, despite all these big names, Lionel Messi, Paulo Dybala, who gets the touch there, Julian Alvarez, all these young guys in the squad, of course, led by the great GOAT himself. It's a team that's destined, hungry and destined, that if they put in the work, as we've seen, they've had some struggles, and we saw it there. Messi, of course, promised Argentina himself that he was going to fix it. He said, we're going to play better. Boy, have they. Few days and a few weeks after that travesty right here at Lusail, 90th minute of play, and it's up 3-0 against Croatia in the semifinal of the World Cup. How about that? Absolute clinical from Argentina. They're still going now. Speaking of which, here's Messi back towards Croatia and Meyer. Livaya out on the left now and goes out throwing now for Argentina. 90 minutes through here, 5 minutes plus stoppage time left. Again, travesty in 2018. Many people thought after that loss, you know what, Argentina might be going back down that rabbit hole, but you got to give credit to the squad. They didn't lose their cool. When you look at 2018, I mean, you look at it, it's a pretty stacked squad. In some cases, you had Gonzalo Higuain, Sergio Aguero, Angel Di Maria, and Messi all out on the pitch at once, and they couldn't do anything in terms of scoring goals. But how about that? The chemistry, the passion, the power. It's what we love to see at a World Cup. And now Argentina now stands away few minutes from heading back to that stage. Meyer whips it in. Martinez with the catch and the save. He too trying to get a clean sheet for the first time since the Poland victory. The stadium right now, all the substitutes on their feet for Argentina. The stadium cascading with Argentinian chants while the Croatians in the corner sulk. They still got a game to play, though. They got Khalifa International on Saturday against either France or Morocco. How about that, though? You look at how the soccer gods have shaped this sport, have shaped this passion, this culture that is seen worldwide, and especially in big countries itself that have grown this game of soccer over the years. It's a testament to the love of what Argentina has done, and credit to Croatia as well. I mean, just a small country, got to their first World Cup in '98, of course, with their own civil problems as well. This one is sent into the box a little too far for everybody. I think the closest guy there might have been Vlasic or Juranovic. But either way, give credit to Croatia. This was a team that, again, a lot of people thought that after the golden age of 2018 was going to be labeled the old squad. Of course, not having those guys there. Credit to Zlatko Dalic to have the coaching amenities to have that. You have Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic. Your midfield was still there, and props to him. It's been a solid midfield. You still had Lovren who came back, and now you had new players as well. Livakovic listed as a lower man, at least there with Subasic taking the goalkeeper roles there. Meanwhile, Vlasic, just inside the box, who was dancing there, will send this out of play. Croatia, nonetheless, has a lot to be proud of. First team in a while to go back-to-back to the semifinals, going into the top four. Of course, Luka Modric unfortunately won't get another crack at winning the world's greatest trophy as he did back in 2018. But nonetheless, for him, he's got a great crew around him. And if he ends up playing at the Euro 2024, like I said, be wary of Croatia. Just from the talent we've seen so far, and if you keep it up, they've got the pieces overall beyond their midfield. I mean, albeit that midfield is getting over Kovacic, Brozovic, and Modric. But I gotta say that front two, Kramaric coming in, Perisic, of course, being a stalwart there in the middle or on the left rather, and then Basilic. Again, credit given. Give credit where credit is due, and that credit is given towards Croatia, a team that, of course, was not on the map in just 2010, 2014, not even much in 2016 at the Euro, and then all of a sudden burst on the scene and makes it to now to the top four for 2 consecutive years, can go out of this World Cup with a medal if they win on Saturday. Here's Palacios, now towards fourth on the right, up against Gavardio. Juan Foyth able to get away. Once again, burning clock. Less than a minute to go here from Lusail Stadium. This one, I think, cut out by Kovacic, and indeed it is. Back towards Croatia. Maybe one last chance here to erase the clean sheet for them. A little high hope and a high note going into Saturday. Here's Meyer. Out on the wing now. Petkovic. Petkovic in the middle for Orsic. Orsic out towards Lovren. Lovren's shot just goes over and wide. 5 minutes through, and that is going to be it from Lusail Stadium. Argentina is on to the final. Lionel Messi and crew now stand at the very least 90 minutes away from winning that elusive World Cup title. Final score here from Lusail Stadium, Argentina 3, Croatia 0. And for Croatia, they will be heading to Khalifa International Stadium on Saturday to play for third place. Again, a great spectacle overall as Lionel Messi started off the scoring in the 34th minute with a penalty kick, and then it was Julian Alvarez to get the insurance goal, and then another cherry on top in the 69th minute. The insurance one came in the 39th minute, and Lionel Messi was the one to assist on the second goal. Messi and Alvarez, the protege and the mentor, the two attacking spearheads for Argentina in this World Cup, lead them to the final. Once again, they're second in 3 World Cups as they try to win their first title since 1986, when the last time a number 10 was around in Argentina. Of course, he's up in heaven now, and Diego Maradona would love to be here to see this team and win a World Cup final and World Cup title. Argentina faces the winner of France versus Morocco on Sunday. For now, as the coverage wraps up here from Lusail Stadium, I'm Mihirson Hassan. Tune in tomorrow as France takes on Morocco to see who faces Argentina in the final and who faces Croatia in the third place game. For now, so long, good night, and stay safe.